Hello and welcome back to the channel. Back on the 68 project today. I've been working on the belts, pulley situation. Finally got a pulley. I am going to run a fan on this truck. I just don't have it on there right now because we'll get the motor where we can crank it. We'll get the radiator support and such set on here before we worry about the fan and the shroud. But I just run some bolts in there to bolt the water pump pulley on. Run into a problem with the kit. Let me show you right here. Got everything lined up. This bolt right here. Now I put the kit together the way the instructions said. It would have been real nice if this bolt and this bolt would have been swapped. There's nothing up here in the way. And this one, the belt hits it. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna take this out, excuse me, I'm gonna take this bolt out, get me another one of these and countersink right back in there, drill back in there. That way I can put one of these bolts and put a tap. This is threaded, this piece is here, so I'll run it through there if I have to, bore them both out, put a tap on the back side, whatever. Other than that, the kit works pretty good. Power steering pump side works okay. I got one rough spot on this pulley, as you can see. I may foul it off. That back notch is not going to be used anyway, the back groove rather. Show you where I got to on that. This video will probably have two parts in it. I may split this into two halves, the belts and stuff, and then I'm going to try to get the wires on it this weekend, the plug wires, and get all that set up. Getting about ready to drop a radiator support on here and a radiator in. Put some oil in this thing and just get everything set up to where we can turn it over. Got the fuel lines run and get all that hooked up. Of course, all these lines here and such. Really, I'd like to wait till warmer weather to put a radiator and stuff in. I may just crank it, see if it'll fire, and not run it, of course, for just a second and see if it'll make sure it's okay and shut it back off. I would really like to run water through the entire system before I went and put antifreeze in it. That way, check for leaks, check for this and that in case there is a problem. But it is still March. And it's cold. It's still going to get cold, and I don't want to leave water in the system. So I may just run it, start it without it, run it just a second to make sure everything's okay, and shut it back off without any water or anything in it. Shouldn't hurt for just a second. Anyway, that's where we're at on the belts. I'm going to get the, like I said, I'll have 2 or 3 different segments on this video. Let's see what we can get figured out on this right here, and I'll have some footage once I get that figured out. Well, all right, right there's what I've got. I got the belts on it, got the pulleys on it, everything's tight. This ICT kit, they've got different ones for different motors. It's a pretty awesome outfit. Relocates the alternator down here from up there in the over here in the stock location. I just despise that. But the problem I found is this bolt right here. This belt goes right across the top of it. So something had to be done. I searched town over before I come home to try to find another one of these type. I was going to drill and recess that back in there like this one and this one is. Now all that does, there's a spacer for support right there, but I started to leave it out. I thought, no, better put it in there. So what I did was I just took a grinder. Once I got the bolt tightened up, ground it down. I can still get it out if I need to. Shouldn't ever have to come back out. You can't see it when the truck's running. It doesn't hurt anything, so I guess I cheated on that one. But anyway, I got everything lined up, power steering pump, all the belts are on. That's what I'm going to be doing to this one. I'm going to try to start putting plug wires on here after a while. I finally got a set that'll work, so I've got to get everything lined out, start putting those on. This video may be a little bit lengthy because we're going to switch from this over to the Toyota, in which I have purchased new shocks. Now I got these off of shockwarehouse.com. I bought this truck new in '93. The shocks that was on it then stayed on it till 2006, and they were wore smack out. They were shot. So that summer there, that spring rather, I put a set on it. They are wore out again. It does have on the back of it Bilsteins. Now those Bilsteins, as you can tell, one of them's busted. They haven't been on there that long. Those have since replaced the ones that I put on it in '06. Not exactly happy with the price of the Bilsteins, and no longer than they lasted. So I just grabbed a set of these KYBs off there, Shock Warehouse. I mean, probably as good as anything else. So let's go ahead and get started on that. We're gonna get some shocks on this Toyota. Now this is a 93 Toyota, so 17 millimeter right here. And if I can get the camera turned around, 17 millimeter right up there. These bolts shouldn't be, these shocks haven't been on that long. They should be pretty easy to come back off. So go ahead and get the bolts out, and let's drop the shock off and see how bad it is. Like I said, it is busted. It's got all the, looks like oil running down it, so they need replaced. Let's get these things off here. Well, there it is. We got it off. I ain't gonna lie, folks, I am a little bit disappointed in these Bilstein shocks for the price they cost and no longer than they lasted. This truck does not go off-road. It goes around here on the farm a little bit, but it's not in the mud, it's not off-roaded, it's not treated rough. These shocks have not had a rough life. They've been highway miles. But as you can tell, this shock does have a little bit of life left in it, maybe, but I mean, I can collapse it just by holding it in front of me and pressing it together. So, I mean, it shouldn't compress that easy. So anyway, there's that. We're gonna go ahead and get this one put up under there. I'm gonna take just a little bit of WD-40 or something and put in these two holes to make it easier to slide up on those pegs. Let's get that done. And for anybody that's watching this video that has not replaced a shock, leave this plastic strap right here on. Put the top mount on. Put the top up there where it goes on the peg. Take a knife, hold your shock right here with one hand. Take a knife and cut this, and as it extends, push it onto the second peg. So make life a whole lot easier for you. Leave that strap on there. Don't go ripping it off. So as you can see, when I cut that strap, it don't have to go but about a ½ inch or so, and it'll slide up on that peg. Like I say, I can't film this because I'm the only one here to try to do it, but you need to hold your shock right here. Cut this strap, and as it extends down, just push it up on that peg, just in case there's someone watching that hasn't done this before. And just like that, there we are, bolts tightened back up, top and the top and the bottom, everything's good to go. Now I'm not going to film the other side, but it happens to be in front of the axle on this 93 Toyota, so all I'm going to do is move around in front of the tire, do the same step over and over. You can see my new exhaust there that I just got run the other day. Maynardville Muffler Center, been in business 30-some years. This guy's owned it. Great place. I might put a link in the description if I can dig his number up in case there's someone local watches this. That shock there does not appear to be busted. It's not oily, but we're going to go ahead and replace them all, front included. So like I said, I'm not going to record that one, just same steps. Take the bolts out, remove the shock, clean everything up, oil this new shock, put it on, and tighten the bolts back, and you're good to go. I'll start the video again when I get moved to the front of the truck. Okay, so moving up here to the front, you'll notice I've already soaked these down with PB Blaster. So what you'll need is a pair of vice grips. This one happens to be a 17 millimeter wrench up top. And just got to keep working. Ratchet wrenches are your friend. I can't let that rest over there, but you see what I got to do. I got to take both hands and just work it back and forth, use it like a ratchet. Down here, you're going to have a 22 millimeter socket and ratchet, and you're going to need a 22 millimeter wrench to take that off. But I've already soaked the other side down. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and remove these bolts. If you don't have a set of ratchet wrenches, these are cheap ones. I picked them up at Walmart. I've got a set of Craftsman ratchet wrenches. I've also got a set of gear wrench, both of which works great. So those are handy. I try to pass through socket. Problem was this part that sticks up right here is not long enough for me to get a pair of vice grips on the top. So that's that. You'll notice I've already replaced tie rod inner and outer, this sleeve. I've got a video. I'll go ahead and link it right up here in the corner over there somewhere next to the, anyway, I'll link it up there in the corner. the video where we replace the tie rod ends and all that stuff. We're going to be doing several things to this little truck over the summer. It's just got a little bit let go, and it's my daily driver, so I need to replace some things. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this shock off and we'll show you it. Okay, I want to show you folks something. I put this shock on in 2006, both front shocks, in that driveway, about the spot where that Ford's sitting right there. I took the original shocks off this Toyota that had been on here 13 years, and I put these on it. Now granted, it's 2020, and that's been a day or two, so here, watch this. Nothing. Little resistance now. That was wore out. No wonder my little truck was riding kind of rough. I mean, these Toyotas are notorious. They ride a little better than a Jeep, but they're not exactly made for luxury. But it was getting pretty bad. I mean, body roll, sway. I mean, it was horrible. Just want to show you all that. That shock is shot. Go ahead and get the new one on. Now, in the case of this front shock, I do have to go ahead and remove that band because it's got this on it. It won't go up through that hole. So once I get it up through there, I basically just have to manhandle it and put the bottom bolt in. That won't be too big of a problem. Anyway, let's go ahead and cut this band off here. Well, there you are. The shock's installed. Everything's all tightened back up. I'm not going to bother videoing the other side because it's the same thing. Like I said, just rinse and repeat. Do it again on the other side. There, I got the bolt back in. Shock's good. It ought to drive a whole lot better now, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get it put on, and we'll see what else we can get into today. Well, we've covered Chevrolets, new shocks on Toyotas. We might as well work on the John Deere a little bit just to cover everything today. So what I went ahead and did, this is the deck out from under the 112 electric lift that I've been working on the last few days on those other videos. I'll put a link once again, wherever the corner is, right up there. I'll put a link right up there to where I've been doing the belt change on it. These, I'm not going to replace with the blades right now. I'm going to go ahead and figure out what I need. But for the time being, if I can get this camera to zoom in, I'm going to go ahead and sharpen these blades, clean out from under this deck. And I'm going to take it off a little later this summer. Well, it's March right now, but on up in the spring, I'll drop the deck back out from under it, patch that hole. Probably put some new blades on it, but for the time being, just to get started, I am going to go ahead and sharpen these blades, and we may go up here and chop the top off of some grass right quick. Let's get to sharpening. Well, folks, I guess that's it for today's video. We've worked on a Chevrolet, a Toyota, got this John Deere 112 back together, deck back under it. I'm going to go take it for a short drive, test the deck out, see if it cuts any better. Done a quick El Cheapo sharpening job with a grinder, nothing major. I'm going to go ahead and order a new set of blades for it. And then I'll take that cover off and grease everything up and all before mowing season starts. But anyway, that's it for today's video. Been kind of a lengthy one. We've worked on a little everything. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe, share it on, check out my Instagram page. I'll pop it up on there, a link to it. Pass it around. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.